the tranquil refuge of a traditional Japanese garden, an oasis of calm in the center of a bustling city. A golden palette of colors as the leaves mark the passage of time. These small pleasures are all new to Takao Sugiyama. Now 60 years old, he spent just under half of his life in jail for a murder it appears he didn't commit. Jailed in the 60s on the basis of a confession he says was forced, he finally won his freedom on appeal. But he's bitterly angry about the justice system that stole his youth.
What I think is absolutely unforgivable is that the prosecutors hid evidence that could easily have proven me not guilty.
Cases like Mr. Sugiyama's have recently called attention to the failures of Japan's justice system. Trial by jury doesn't happen here. Instead, cases are put before a panel of judges. The rate of convictions, which is higher than 99%, suggests if your case goes to trial, there's only going to be one verdict.
Japan is hesitating to listen to the international pressures. However, there were several other changes made in the criminal justice system because it has been pressured from the international societies.
The future, however, does offer change. Here in a mock courtroom, school children are learning about the most radical reform to Japan's justice system in nearly a century. From May of next year, ordinary citizens will sit on the panel of judges, opening up a legal system that's been accused of operating for too long behind closed doors.
Well, the students have now broken off into groups to discuss the guilt or otherwise of the case we've just seen. And it's part of a reform of the Japanese legal system to bring ordinary people into the decision-making process. But critics of these reforms say they don't go nearly far enough.
And in a society where you're not necessarily innocent until proven guilty, some lawyers feel that Japan must look to a complete overhaul of the way that it deals with crime.
Japan's judiciary is not changing for the good. On the surface, it looks like citizens are really taking part in the trials and the judiciary, but they just perpetuate the current system, and the miscarriage of justice will still happen.
Mr. Sugiyama's ordeal isn't yet over either. He still has to report to the police every few days and can't leave the country. He's fighting for a full pardon, but he says Japan's judiciary is unlikely to admit its own failings. Perhaps he is lucky, though. Executions of death row inmates have recently hit record highs. Tony Cheng, Al Jazeera, Tokyo.